Hello students. So in last period we had discussed about acceleration due to gravity. By change of altitude or height, acceleration due to gravity decreases exponentially. And we also learned that acceleration due to gravity at surface of Earth is not uniform. It changes from point to point. It is maximum at the pole and minimum at the equator due to typical shape of Earth, which is not exactly spherical, it is a spheroid. Flattened from the pole, bulging from equator. That means the equatorial radius is larger. Therefore, acceleration due to gravity is smaller. Polar radius is smaller. Therefore, acceleration due to gravity is larger. At the pole, it is maximum, and equator it is minimum as far as surface of Earth is concerned. And above surface of Earth decreases exponentially. Now let's see what happens to acceleration due to gravity. Suppose the person moves into depth of Earth or goes into the mines. So suppose this is Earth. Center of Earth, mass is m, radius is r. So formula for acceleration due to gravity at surface of Earth is g is equal to gm upon r square. Now suppose the person goes into depth of Earth, into the mines. Suppose here, at a depth suppose d, and remaining distance is suppose r from center of Earth. So this is small r and this is a d, and this is a total radius of Earth. Now as the person is penetrating into depth of Earth, say here, then entire mass of Earth will not be effective on him. When person is either at surface of Earth or above surface of Earth, then entire mass of Earth is effective on him. But when he is penetrating into depth of Earth, then entire mass of Earth will not be effective. Only mass of this much portion, which is shown by this cross mark or shaded mark, will be effective, and we don't know that mass. और जैसे जैसे अंदर जाएगा, अंदर की डेप्थ में effective mass कम होता जाएगा, and it is not possible to calculate mass of Earth at each and every point. Therefore, we will transfer the formula in terms of density of Earth, which approximately remain constant. Mass को replace किया. We know that formula for density is mass upon volume. Therefore, mass is equal to density into volume. So mass of Earth is m, and density of Earth suppose rho. This symbol is called rho, density of Earth. And volume, since shape is approximately spherical, and volume as sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So mass is equal to density into volume, where rho is the density of Earth, which approximately remain constant from surface to center, and this is volume of the spherical Earth. So we will substitute this value in equation number 1. What we get? G is equal to g upon r square. These two terms are as they were. Only mass को replace कर दिया. Density into volume. So rho into 4 by 3 pi r cube. So from r square get cancelled from cube. We get g is equal to 4 by 3 pi g rho and r. So this is the value of acceleration due to gravity in terms of density. Now suppose if the person is penetrating to the depth of earth and we want to find acceleration due to gravity at this point, say P. And suppose value of acceleration due to gravity at point P is g d. At surface of earth it was g. तो अर्थ की डेप्थ में जाएंगे तो चेंज होगा. तो न्यू सिंबल यूज किया. सपोज g and suffix लगाया d. It doesn't mean g into d, not like that. It is g and d. D is suffix just to show that it is something different from this value g. Is equal to 4 by 3 same, pi same, g same, rho same. डेंसिटी में चेंज नहीं आया तो ये सभी फैक्टर कांस्टेंट, ओनली डिस्टेंस चेंज हो जाएगा. When object was at surface of earth, the radius was r. Now object is at point P and this distance is small r. ये आ जाएगा small r. Now these terms are constant terms. Therefore we can conclude that GD is directly proportional to R into depth of earth. That means as the person is approaching to a center of earth, R go on decreasing. Therefore acceleration due to gravity also go on decreasing linearly. अगर डिस्टेंस हाफ हो जाएगा तो जी भी हाफ हो जाएगा. अगर r 1/4 हो जाएगा तो जी भी 1/4 हो जाएगा. और जब पर्सन सेंटर ऑफ अर्थ में पहुंच जाएगा तो r 0 हो जाएगा. Therefore acceleration due to gravity also becomes 0 at the center of earth. And since acceleration due to gravity is 0, therefore weight of object also becomes 0 at the center of earth. So weight of object will be 0 at the center of earth. That means the value of acceleration due to gravity is maximum at surface of earth. Decreases exponentially above surface of earth. Decreases linearly into depth of earth. तो surface of earth पर g सबसे ज़्यादा होगा और surface of earth पर भी यूनिफॉर्म नहीं होगा. पोल पर मैक्सिमम, इक्वेटर पर मिनिमम. As far as surface of earth is concerned. अर्थ से ऊपर जाएंगे तो acceleration due to gravity square times, that means exponentially decrease होगा. Square times का मतलब होगा डिस्टेंस अगर डबल हुआ तो g 1/4 हो जाएगा. डिस्टेंस से ट्रिपल हुआ तो g 1/9 हो जाएगा एंड सो ऑन. और पर्सन अगर अर्थ की डेप्थ में जाएगा तब भी g डिक्रीज होगा, लेकिन g डिक्रीज लीनियर होगा, स्ट्रेट होगा. अगर डिस्टेंस हाफ हो जाएगा g भी हाफ हो जाएगा. अगर डिस्टेंस 1/4 हो जाएगा g भी 1/4 हो जाएगा एंड लाइक दैट. सपोज इफ वी प्लॉट ए ग्राफ फॉर एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी. मैं इसको यहां प्लॉट करता हूं. So we are plotting graph for acceleration due to gravity versus the distance. So this is r is equal to r. That means object is at the surface of earth. So at the surface of earth, acceleration due to gravity would be maximum. So this is maximum value of g, and this is the distance, say r. So it is maximum at the surface of earth. ये हो गया maximum. Now suppose the person moving above surface of earth, then acceleration due to gravity decreases exponentially. The graph का नेचर ऐसे बनेगा. This is called rectangular hyperbola. This is called rectangular hyperbola or exponential nature. और अगर सपोज ऑब्जेक्ट इज गोइंग इनटू डेप्थ ऑफ अर्थ, अंदर जाएगा, तो एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी लीनियरली डिक्रीज होगा, दैट मींस स्ट्रेट लाइन आएगी. एंड एट सेंटर ऑफ अर्थ वैल्यू ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी वुड बी जीरो, therefore weight of object at the center of earth would be zero. So weight of object becomes zero at the center of earth. Similarly above surface of earth जाएंगे तो infinite height पर g zero होगा तो weight भी zero होगा, बहुत ज़्यादा height पर, otherwise decrease exponential. So this is the nature of graph. So this is above surface of earth into depth of earth and maximum at the surface of earth. So this is about acceleration due to gravity, how it changes from surface of earth, above surface of earth, into depth of earth. In short, acceleration due to gravity is maximum at the surface of earth. And surface of earth पर भी uniform नहीं है. Polar radius is shorter, therefore G is maximum. Equatorial radius is large, therefore G is minimum at surface of earth as far as surface of earth is concerned. But suppose the person is going above surface of earth, pole of earth पे लिया 9.81, equator पे 9.79, normally we take 9.8 which is the average value of acceleration due to gravity at surface of earth. अब person suppose surface of earth से ऊपर जाएगा, that is called altitude. So by increase of altitude, acceleration due to gravity decreases square times exponentially. ये क्या आएगा, ग्राफ का नेचर आएगा. और हाइट अगर बहुत कम चेंज हुई तो जी में कोई बड़ा चेंज नहीं आएगा. इवन माउंट एवरेस्ट पर भी आप पहुंच गए तो वैल्यू ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन ग्रेविटी अप्रोक्सीमेटली सेम रहेगा. नाउ पर्सन मूविंग इनटू डेप्थ ऑफ अर्थ और इनटू द माइन, देन अगेन एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी decreases, but this time it is a linear straight line आएगी. So this decrease is linear. So acceleration due to gravity above surface of, suppose there are two scientists, one is moving above surface of in a balloon, other is moving into minute depth of earth, then acceleration due to gravity for both of them will decrease, but above surface of earth it would be exponential, into depth of earth it would be linear. In a 10th standard, you also learn about centripetal force. Centripetal force means the force which bind the particle from center so as to perform circular motion. For example, suppose if you tie a stone by a string and suspend it freely, and suppose if this is fixed point center, and now suppose we are applying tangential force from here like this, and if force is sufficiently large, then this object will move like this. And it will complete the circular path. Tension will be developed in the string acting towards center, and that tension is called centripetal force. अब सपोज आपने एक ऑब्जेक्ट लिया, यस, और अगर इसको सेंटर से आप बांधते नहीं हैं, if you don't tie it from center and just apply force, then this will not move in this path. This will leave the surface tangentially outward. So this body will perform circular motion only when we are binding it from center by certain reason, by certain force, and that force is what? Tension, that is T. Similarly, between moon and earth, moon is performing circular motion round earth. Suppose this is moon. So this is earth and this is moon. So moon is revolving around earth in circular orbit approximately. But there is no time substance like this, no string, no wire, etc. But there is a force between them, and that force is called gravitational force of attraction. Say F. And that is according to Newton's law, F is equal to Gmm upon R square. So force of gravity between earth and moon is responsible for circular motion of this object around the earth in circular orbit. This gravitational force will provide centripetal force, and formula for centripetal force is F is equal to mv square by r, where m is the mass of the moon or mass of the object which is performing circular motion, v is its velocity or speed, and r is distance between their center or radius of revolution. This is called centripetal force. So centripetal force means the force which bind the object from center is called centripetal force, and it is necessary for every circular motion. If there is no centripetal force, then body cannot perform circular motion. It is the must force for every circular motion. So the force which bind particle from center is called centripetal force. Similarly, electron revolving around nucleus. This is the nucleus containing proton and neutron. Proton will carry positive charge, therefore nucleus will carry positive charge. An electron carrying negative charge is revolving in circular orbit around it. And we know that there exists a force of attraction between them. That is called Coulomb's force. F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 upon R square. This is Coulomb's force acting between positive and negative charges. Here it is, and distance is R. And this force will provide centripetal force, the same formula, F is equal to mv square by R. तो ये force of attraction is called electrostatic force of attraction is responsible to provide centripetal force. That's why electron is revolving around nucleus in circular orbit. Suppose अगर यहाँ से आपने proton को remove कर दिया, if there is no positive charge, then electron cannot revolve because it cannot obtain centripetal force. Similarly here, there is a gravitational force attraction between earth and moon. Suppose if gravitational force between earth and moon vanishes, अगर ये force खत्म हो जाए, then moon cannot perform circular motion around earth. So earth is bounding moon so as to perform circular motion around it. So this is providing centripetal force. So centripetal force is the force which act towards center of circle or which bind the particle from center so as to provide centripetal force and so as to perform any circular motion around earth. So this is earth and this is moon, this is performing circular motion around earth. Similarly, suppose a curved road. If suppose a two-wheeler is passing over the curved road, then the two-wheeler will lean inward. For example, suppose, so this is the curved surface, like this. And if two-wheeler is passing over it, this is the center is at this side. So he will lean inward, yes, झुक जाएगा. But suppose if it is four-wheeler, लाइक दिस, तो ये अपने व्हील नहीं उठाएगा, can't do like this. So friction force will act between the wheel of the car and the surface, and that friction will provide centripetal force. और फिर जब ज़्यादा फोर्स रिक्वायर होगी, स्पीड ज़्यादा बढ़ाना होगा, तो फिर रोड को बैंक करते हैं, जो आप 11 में 12 में पढ़ेंगे बैंकिंग रोड में, 11 के समय में आप पढ़ेंगे, अभी आपने 10 में इसको नहीं पढ़ा है. So this is called centripetal force. So centripetal force is must and necessary for every circular motion. Suppose if we equate them, the velocity necessary for particle to perform circular motion is called as critical velocity. यहाँ सिंबल आ जाएगा VC. This is critical velocity. If we equate them, centripetal force is provided due to gravitational force of attraction. So equating that becomes mv square by r is equal to gmm upon r square, mass cancel, r and square cancel. So vc square is equal to gm upon r, or vc is equal to under root gm upon r, or maybe gm upon total distance r plus h. When the satellite is revolving around r, so moon and earth, so this is r, and this is h. So that total distance is r plus h, and small r is called radius of revolution, which is equal to r plus h. So this is formula for critical velocity. Same can be applied for artificial satellite. Say communication satellite revolving around Earth performing the purpose of communication. तो वो किसी स्पीड से रिवॉल्व करता है, उसका भी फॉर्मूला सेम बनेगा, Vc is equal to gm upon r plus h. And this critical velocity is independent of mass of the object. ऑब्जेक्ट का मास पे डिपेंड नहीं करेगा, ऑब्जेक्ट का मास कम होगा या ज़्यादा होगा, उससे स्पीड चेंज होगी. डिपेंड अपॉन मास ऑफ द प्लैनेट एंड ऑल्सो रेडियस ऑफ रेवोल्यूशन r और r plus h. So this is formula for critical velocity. Now let's see what is Kepler's law. In standard term, you have learned 10th class. You have learned 3 laws of Kepler. They are called Kepler law. First law is that all planets in the solar system of Sun are revolving in elliptical orbit around Sun. तो जितने भी planets है revolving around Sun, they are not revolving in circular orbit, but they are revolving in elliptical orbit. जैसे मर्क्यूरी है, अर्थ है, जुपिटर है, नेपच्यून है, etc. and so on. So all of them are revolving not in circular orbit but in elliptical orbit. This is an ellipse. और इसमें 2 फोकस होते हैं. This is one point, this is second point. These are called focuses. ये फोकस होगा, ये फोकस होगा, दोनों को मिलाकर बोलेंगे फोकाई. So these are 2 foci of the ellipse. तो फोकस का प्लूरल आएगा फोकाई. So these are 2 foci of the ellipse. Say F1 and F2. So Sun is at one of the foci of the ellipse. Sun is not at the center, but at one of the foci of the ellipse. Say here. तो यहाँ पर सन की पोजीशन आएगी, and suppose this is the earth. ये ऐसे रिवॉल्व करेगा, तो इसका ऑर्बिट आएगा इलिप्टिकल, नॉट सर्कुलर. अब एलिप्स कैसे बनता है ये अभी आपको बताया मैंने. दिस इज द एलिप्स. Suppose if we take the cone, दिस इज द कॉन. इसको आपने अगर कट किया स्ट्रेट वे, you get the circle. So this is the circle. But suppose if you cut it inclined certain angle, now you get the ellipse. So this is the shape of approximate ellipse, like this. This is called ellipse. So for an ellipse, suppose this position is A, this is say B, or this is say C. Then sum of these two distances, that means F1A plus AF2. Is equal to F1B plus BF2. Would be equal to F1C plus CF2. So these distances remain constant. This is called an ellipse. So first why that all planets in the solar system of Sun are revolving in elliptical orbit around Sun. Second law is that they are moving such that their aerial velocity remain constant throughout the path. Now what is concept of aerial velocity? Suppose this is Sun. Velocity is ds by dt. But when we say aerial velocity, that would be dA by dt. This ratio of area traced by the radius vector to the distance traveled or time, or the ratio of time will remain constant. So dA by dt will remain constant. Suppose the Earth is moving from point A to point B, and this distance called radius is tracing this much area. This is at the closer position. At further position C and D, area traced is suppose this one, say dA2 and this is dA1. If these two areas are equal, that means if dA1 is equal to dA2, then dt1 would be equal to dt2. अगर ये दोनों एरिया सेम है तो दोनों का टाइम भी सेम आएगा. मतलब जो समय इसको A से D पर जाने में लगेगा उतना ही टाइम इसको C से D पर जाने में लगेगा. That means dA by dt, that means aerial velocity of the planet remain constant. This is second law. And third law is that square of the time period is directly proportional to r cube. That means square of the time period is directly proportional to radius of revolution. So these are three Kepler's law. So I think I should stop here. We will discuss it in the next period in detail. So thank you very much.